Hello, welcome back. It's so good to see you. So, today we are going to be reading two more little mystery stories. Hopefully, I'm able to solve them. Last time I think I did pretty good. The time before that, not so much. It made me feel very dumb. So, are we going to have a smart day or a dumb day? I don't know. But let's go ahead and get started. So this story is called All in the Hands. Let's start at the beginning, Miss Parker. Detective Christine Kay said, "You say you occupy one half of this duplex, and while your neighbor, Mr. Adams, was away, you were looking after his home. He went away on business, so I agreed to watch the place for him. Now $1,000 is missing, and I'll be blamed." The elderly lady dabbed her eyes with a tissue. "And the money's missing from the cookie jar?" The detective lifted the top of the canister on the kitchen counter. She nodded. "Charlie called 30 minutes ago and told me where the money was. He asked me to retrieve it and wire it to him. But when I looked inside, the cookie jar was empty. Except for this." Detective K peered inside and pulled out a square of pink acrylic. Okay. "Looks like a fake fingernail. Yours?" "No." Thelma showed her well manicured nails to Kay. "Though it's a nice color." The detective frowned. "Who else knew that Mr. Adams hid his cash in here?" "I don't know. Maybe someone decided to have a cookie and simply found the money." Just then, a little terrier trotted into the room. "Oh, Biscuit, if only you could talk," Thelma said. "Was anyone else in this apartment today?" "Several people, actually," Thelma said. "First was the cable installer at 8 a.m. I saw his truck in the driveway, a big white one." "You didn't let him in?" "No, Charlie left a hide key under the front step. He knew the cable installer and a couple of others were coming by. He didn't want to bother me about letting them all in, so he told them about the key." "Who else came?" "At 9, Charlie's niece, Cynthia, came to walk Biscuit. I'd walk him myself, but my legs can't handle it. Besides, Charlie said Cynthia needs the money." The old lady gasped. "Oh, I've noticed that she sometimes wears fake fingernails. And you're sure Cynthia came by today?" "Positive. I heard her playing with Biscuit out back about an hour before the cleaning lady arrived. Miss Patterson comes every Tuesday. She cleans my half of the house first, then Charlie's." "Did you notice if she was wearing pink fingernails?" Thelma shook her head. "I'll talk to Cynthia and Miss Patterson," the detective said. Cynthia took offense at the idea that she was a suspect. That's my stomach, I'm sorry. I'm recording the video before I ate breakfast. Oh well. Cynthia took offense at the idea that she was a suspect. "I'd never take something that didn't belong to me," she protested. "I don't even help myself to the food in the fridge, even though Uncle Charlie said I could. I just come and play with Biscuit for half an hour every morning and afternoon." "May I see your hands?" Cynthia held out both. Her French tip nails needed some TLC, but none were missing. Asked, but none were missing. Asked to show her hands, Miss Peterson quickly complied. I'm afraid I pay no attention to my nails, she said, blushing. Why would I, in my line of work? Detective Kay thanked the women and went to her car. She was sure the nail tip was a clue, yet it appeared to belong to none of the women who'd been in the house. She closed her eyes and thought, got it, the detective said aloud. Who had stolen the money? I don't know. Oh, I know who stole the money. Maybe. Let me try and find. Okay. I'm thinking it wasn't the niece or whoever she was. It wasn't the cleaning lady and it wasn't the old lady. I believe that it was the cable installer because the cable installer is a woman. Maybe. I don't know. Let's turn the page and flip it over and find out. Okay, the only other person who'd been in the house that day, the cable installer, who it turned out was a woman. Thelma hadn't seen the worker, but, like the detective had mistakenly assumed it was a man, confronted by Detective Kay, who saw right away that one of her pink acrylic tips was missing. The cable installer confessed. I knew it. Because there are women cable installers. It's not very often, but they exist. I knew it. Okay, so I'm not totally dumb today. Yay. Okay, let's do one more. This one looks cool. I like this. This story is called Theft at the Theater. The theater. Okay, when Officer Kay Hansen exited the elevator on the second floor of the two-story building, a young man was waiting. I'm Josh Gray, president of the community theater, he said. I called about a burglary. He led her to the organization's office, where a middle-aged woman and a white-haired man in jeans and a sweatshirt waited. This is our new treasurer, Rita Mills, Josh said. And this is Hank Taylor, former president of the community theater. The older man said, transferring his cane to his other hand to shake hands with Kate. Our financial records are missing, Rita said. I work for an accounting firm. This is a part-time job, and I came here after work yesterday to take a first look at the records. I finished at 9. Put the files away and locked the door when I left. Rita called me this morning. She said she'd found problems in our financial records, Josh said. I agreed to meet her here at noon. I invited Hank in case the problems dated from his time as president. When we arrived, the records had vanished into thin air. Anything else missing? Kate asked. No. Josh said, costumes and props are all stored in my garage. Kate found no signs of forced entry. The door and the filing cabinet yielded only one person's fingerprint, probably Rita's, and these 3 were the only ones with keys to the office. Did anyone break into the building last night? Rita asked. Kate shook her head. I checked the building security. The doors were locked between 9 p.m. and 8:30 a.m. The alarms were set. Where were you 3 this morning? At home. I live alone, Josh responded. At the office of Miller and Mead Accounting. Rita said. Hank frowned. So we're suspects? He turned to Josh. This is your fault. It was your idea to rent this office. The troop never had one before? Does that say troop? I don't know what that says. When you were president, we didn't need one, Josh snapped. We were a bunch of amateurs putting on plays nobody wanted to see. Now our audience have doubled, so stop trying to undermine everything I do. Hank's face reddened. You know some people don't like the changes you've made. Because you've stirred them up against me, Josh retorted. Stop, Rita said. Your bickering is tearing the community theater apart. And Officer Henson doesn't need to hear it. Maybe I do, thought Kate. The two men clearly hated each other. Would one of them fake a robbery to discredit the other? After talking to residents of the first floor offices, Kate ascended again to the second floor. She exited the elevator and entered the first office on her left, an insurance agency. Did you see anyone heading for the theater office down the hall this morning? She asked the receptionist. Our door is usually closed, the woman said, but a delivery man came at 10, and while the door was open, I saw a man going that way. Can you describe him? White hair, golf cap, jeans, sweatshirt, walking with a cane. Could you see if he was carrying anything? The cane was in his left hand. I didn't notice his other hand. Kate had no other witnesses, so that was okay. She had her suspect. Who was the suspect? Okay, I need to reread something because I suspect possibly Kate. Let's see. Okay, so something about Where's missing? I finished at 9. Okay, she finished at 9, put the files away, and locked the door and left. So yeah, the doors were locked between 9 p.m. and 8:30 a.m. Okay, so we don't suspect her. What about the old guy? Because there's something to do with the cane. The cane was in his left hand, and I didn't notice the other hand. So, and this was at 10 o'clock. She introduced... Where did she introduce the old guy? Where were the guys introduced? I'm Josh Gray, president, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he led her to the organization's office where a middle-aged man in a white-haired jeans sweatshirt, Hank Taylor, former president of the community theater, the older man transferring his cane to his other hand to shake Kate's hand. It doesn't say which one. You usually shake with your right hand. And so the cane was in his left hand. He had the cane in his right hand and he had to transfer it to his I'm going to say the old guy. I could be totally wrong. Let's find out. Okay. Josh, the man's appearance. Wait, Josh. Okay. Josh is the suspect. The man's appearance suggested Hank, but when Hank introduced himself, he passed his cane to his other hand, which meant he carried his cane in his right hand. Exactly. But the receptionist had seen a cane in his left hand. Josh had embezzled, then panicked when Rita found discrepancies. Disguising himself, he stole the records to hide his crime and implicate Hank, but used the wrong hand. Oh my god. So it wasn't even the old guy. It wasn't even the old guy. It was Josh. Oh my gosh. new president. Oh my goodness. Did you get that? I don't know. I totally didn't suspect Josh at all. So, I'm dumb again, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.